Inhale, coming up on the toes and bringing the arms up. And if you can, have your palms a little bit forward so that you can feel like your whole spine is neutral and lengthening all the way to the lower back, and exhale down. So you could try this with the arms straight overhead, and you'll notice that my back is arching more, so that might feel good for you. So that's one option. Another is to have the hands straight overhead or a little bit forward so that you can get a little bit more length in the spine and less curve here, hopefully. So inhale, coming up. And exhale, coming down. And you might notice at the top of the inhale, I'm pulling up a little bit more. So keep this going your own timing. I'm going to add the B breath. And last time. Inhale, arms coming up in front of you. Exhale, arms coming down in front of you. Bend the knees, release neck and shoulders. We're going to do one arm at a time. Inhale, you can do your easy side first maybe. And feel that in your whole spine from the lower back up. Exhale, release. Hand into the leg and foot, other side, inhale. And exhale. And both arms. Keep this going, one side at a time, then both. And finishing up. Asana-s, even standing. Notice where your weight is. Is it on one foot more than the other? Over time, you might notice that change during the class. Notice your posture. So do you tend to round forward, or do you tend to really arch your whole back and maybe compress your lower back? So whatever that is, can you find a more neutral place? It might be drawing the belly in, tucking the tail under, or it might be creating a bit more curve in the lower back and a bit more in the upper back. So just try to find that neutral place. You can imagine that you have a doweling piece of wood, like a broomstick, behind your back, and you're just trying to feel your upper back and buttocks just touch that natural curve of the lower back in, and upper back out like an S. Maybe your shoulders tend to go forward. Maybe you need to roll them back and down. And then maybe you need to draw your ribs in. So many of us stick our ribs out to get space in the upper back. That's part of our core, being able to hold that, engage that. So during the day, this is a great thing to do many times during the day. And then find your weight on your feet. Is it on one foot more than the other? Samasthiti. This pose means even standing. Are you more on your heels or more on your toes? Can you engage the pelvic floor a little bit? Let the lower back lengthen down. Maybe engage through the glutes, squeezing the legs together and releasing around the tailbone area a little bit. And then let that go. We're going to move into some warrior work for the back. So coming to the back of your mat or your space, you're going to bring your easy side forward. I'm going to say that. So I'm starting with my right, which is my easy side. And we're going to have same hand as foot forward on the lower back. The palm can be up or down. Just feel that out, which one feels better for your shoulder, your hand, your wrists. You're going to inhale, you're going to bend that front knee, so it's tracking over the second toe. The back foot turned out to comfort. It can be more angled in if you want to work the calf, and you can keep your stability. You're going to inhale, bend that front knee, and bring the opposite arm forward and stretch it way out. And exhale, release. So last week we did this with both arms. This week I just want you to experience with one. Inhale, extend. Stretch it way, way, way forward. And feel that side of your spine stretch, and exhale, release. So I have my right leg forward and I'm feeling my left side really lengthen. Staying here now. Exhale, bend the elbow, drop the shoulder blades. So that's for those of you with that tightness between your shoulder blades. Let's see if this helps. Inhale with the palm facing towards the center, lengthen. Exhale, bend the elbow and pull up from the pelvic floor to the belly button as you exhale. Inhale, chest to belly. Exhale, pelvic floor all the way up. Keep this going a few more. If it's too much, go back to the first exercise where you're moving in and out of the pose. This is also working on pelvic stability as you stay with your legs. And release after around 6 times, depending on your breath. Stepping back if you can. If you've got toe stuff going on, that might not be an option today, and that's no problem at all. Just find your even breath. We're going to do the other side. And the back foot again turned out a little bit or a lot, or you can have it parallel if you want to work more with your calf. Same hand as foot forward to your lower back, palm up or down. Exhale here. Inhale, lengthening forward. Opposite arm coming forward, lengthening through that whole side of your back, all the way to your back foot. And exhale, release. Keep this going around 6 times. 4 to 6 times. When you're ready, staying in the position, if this is comfortable for your body this morning. And as you exhale, bend the elbow, drop the shoulder blade. And if you like, turning the palm in. Inhale, lengthening. So feel where that feels best for your back, palm facing in or down. It's going to depend on your shoulder. Dropping that shoulder blade down. Connect it with the belly drawing in as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in. Inhale. Keep this going. Now we go back to the first exercise where you're moving in and out of the pose. A lot of strength work on the front hip. And stretching the back leg, the hip flexor. And working on one shoulder at a time. After around 4 to 6, exhale, release. And stepping back if you can. Finding your asana-s, notice how you feel. If you did have one foot that wasn't really feeling like it was waiting before, you might feel now there's a bit more evenness. So just notice if that's true for you. Feel your posture, make any adjustments. I'm just going to do a simple side stretch in Tadasana. So inhale, you're going to bring your arms up to the sides. And exhale, you're going to bring one arm down and stretch to the side. And just getting into the side ribs all the way to the lower back and hip. Inhale, coming up. So this is a little bit more upper back, but you can focus your mind on the lower back by bringing that hip out to the side a bit more. So inhale, full Tadasana. Exhale, Parshva Tadasana, side lateral version. Keep this going your own timing. Exhale, side, inhale up. We'll keep this going or take a break, or if you're comfortable now staying on one side. And you could be doing this against a wall, with your back against a wall for more stability if you want. And you could see it the same arm as leg. So I got my, well, it's going to look like your right. So I'm going to say my right arm along my ear. I'm going to take my right foot and cross and get it a bit more into my lower back. And maybe hold that wrist or hold opposite elbows. See which one works best for you. Just adding a little side stretch. I'm going to try to mirror this on the ground later in the class. And when you're ready, inhale up, exhale, uncross. We're going to do the other side. So crossing the other foot over. So for me, it's going to look like my left is crossed. Left arm coming up, inhale, stretching way up, exhale, side. Holding that wrist if you like, or holding opposite elbows. Try to de-rotate that top elbow back. It will tend to go forward if there's tightness as compensation. Just play with that a bit. Just see which one works better for you. So it might depend where your tightness is. So I find on my side where my lower back is tight, which is this side, bending my elbows helps me get more into my lower back. And on the other side, I have my arms long because it's more in my upper back. So you can play with those modifications. Just, you don't have to understand it, just feel your body, it will tell you. And when you're ready, release. Samastiti, bringing the hands down. Feet together or apart, and just notice the weight on your feet. Is it a little bit more even now? It's one of my favorite things to do while I practice is just not forcing this alignment or this change, but just allowing it to happen through the practice and observing it and going, oh, there it is. And noticing if your pain levels are affected by that alignment. Okay, so moving into some forward bends. So we did this actually a couple of weeks ago for the hips. This also really affects the lower back. So we're going to put one foot behind the other. Start with your easy side. So that's all I'm going to say. Put one foot behind the other. Usually the one you do first is your easy side, by the way. If you're not sure, just kind of do it and go, okay, that's probably my easy side. And you're going to inhale, if possible, bring your arms front. If this is not accessible, bring your arms side, which might feel better in your body. We say bring the arms front activates the lower back a bit more. And as you exhale, coming forward to where you can. You could do this with your hands on a chair or the back of a couch or a ledge or a countertop. Being at home, lots of interesting props to work with. Inhale up and exhale down. So again, if there's blood pressure or eye issues, maybe not coming down as far, you can also, as you come down, bring your hands to your thighs and then slide down your hands on your legs. This removes some of the weight And then as you come up, slide your hands up, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then if possible, you could add your arms at the ends. So arms are weights, so you can get rid of them if it's too much. Just adjust your arms until it's comfortable. I know a lot of you had some shoulder issues after our last class. You felt like you'd worked them maybe a bit too much. So if that's the case, you can just get rid of those arms altogether or add them just at the end and beginning. Now, focus your mind on how this is stretching your lower back. Probably on the side where the foot is brought behind. So definitely if you have lower back pain, for the most part, you're going to be getting rid of the weights of those arms. If you're working more with strength, some of you requested some strength work, use the arms. So as you inhale, bring the arms in line with the ears and come up. And exhale, release. Okay, we're going to switch sides. This one I'm going to show side view so you can see that movement of the arms. So basically do what you want with your arms for your body. Arms are weights. Add them or get rid of them. It's like picking up a weight and using it, or lower weight. Inhale, arms up to your place, front if you can, or side. Exhale, lengthening forward. You could remove the arms, bring them to your thighs, or keep them in line with your ears. Draw in from the pelvic floor all the way to the belly button, coming forward. And feel that stretch on the side of the hip and maybe lower back with the foot behind. Inhale, coming up. And exhale forward. Keep this going your own timing. Start to exhale before you start to move. Still exhaling at the end of the movement. Just a reminder to check that you're muted. And finishing up your last one. And just to bring back to sama, balance, inhale, arms up. Exhale forward again. You could do this like a ledge here. So this is about the height of the countertop. You could come to a countertop or the back of a chair, or hands on the seat of a chair or stool. So you can come here or all the way down. And in whatever position you choose, inhale, arching up a little bit, stiti, this is called. Exhale, forward bend. You can bend the knees and see if that helps you release your lower back. Release the head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, arching up. Look at your feet, little toe sides nice and parallel. If that works for your knees, tracking over second toes. Otherwise, adjust the feet. If it's comfortable, you can hold with your peace fingers inside your big toes. It looks like that. Inside that space between the big toe and the second toe, looping that in. Inhale, arching up. And exhale, forward bend. If that's not accessible, you can put the hands anywhere that works for you. So maybe on the shins, maybe on the thighs. So this is back strengthening. Adding on if it's comfortable. Holding opposite elbows. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward bend. I'm lessening the lever of the arms. This decreases the amount of work on the lower back. This is quite a bit of work. This pose is strengthening for the lower back. Again, if that's not what your lower back needs, do not do this. Stay in the forward bend, half or full forward bend, and rest. Notice if one side of your lower back is working more than the other. We're going to go into that in a minute. So that might be really obvious or not. Stay in the forward bend and rest. Try to bring your rib cage forward on your thighs. That cue helps us lengthen our lower back. So grabbing your ribs and bringing forward, trying to lengthen the lower back. And for those of us with tightness in the upper back, you may also find this very soothing because it decompresses the upper spine as well. So notice that. And just stay here if this is accessible, this semi-inversion, hands anywhere you like, classically beside the outside of the feet, holding the big toes, palms underneath the balls of the feet. I know we've got a bunch of foot things going on in the class, so some of these might be helpful to play with. I like to put my hands on my calves and bind in. And coming up. Pause. Okay, I'm just going to do a little check-in, make sure everyone's okay. Okay, good. Okay, so wow, time is flying. So I want to work on Parshva Uttanasana. It seems like we're doing a lot of forward bends today with back strengthening. So you're going to bring your easy side forward. And earlier we did this. So this time this is similar, but we're going to go all the way forward actually. And then halfway up. So this is going to stretch and strengthen the back. And this is, I have to say, one of my favorite exercises in my own personal practice. So let's see if you like it. And I'm going to get you to play with the arms. So I'm going to start with opposite arm. So inhale. So I've got my right leg forward and I'm going to be moving my left arm, but whatever leg forward is fine. The back foot turned out or parallel. I like to make mine parallel because my calves tend to be very tight, especially on the side of my back that's more compressed. So you can play with that if that works. You could have your heel at the wall to give you more stability. I know we do that in class quite often. Inhale, that opposite arm to front leg moving up and stretching way up. Find that oot of the Uttanasana. Tana is to stretch and coming forward. If this does not work for your neck and shoulders, having this lever really long, remove it earlier or don't use it at all. This might be a balance issue. If it is so, use both arms. Or adjust that back heel to give you more stability or put it at the wall. The front knee can be bent. Please do bend it if your belly's not on the thigh and try to bring that rib cage forward. Inhale, moving that arm in line with the ear, coming halfway up. Exhale, bring the hand down. Inhale, coming all the way to standing, move the arm in line with the ear, and coming up. Exhale, release. Now when I'm in a rush, I often forget or don't do that last little exhale piece, but classically we always come back to the starting position. Okay, but in a personal practice, you have a little less time, you can always skip this little piece. Inhale, arm coming up. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, bend that front knee to comfort. Inhale, move the arm in line with the ear if you can, and come halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. One more like this. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now stay here, release both hands down. Inhale, arch the back up. Try to lengthen the spine along the thigh. Get that rib cage along the thigh. A little bit more, you can use the hand to help. Exhale, come forward. Just keep that going. So now we're stretching the lower back and definitely the front hamstrings and maybe the back calf. And take a little twist to the side and see if that feels good in the opposite lower back. This one's used for scoliosis, but any of us who have a little bit of tightness on this opposite side of your lower back. So I'm stretching my left lower back now with my right foot forward. It might be the opposite for you. Inhale here, exhale, release. Coming back to the center. Twisting the other way. How does that feel? Now, I'm getting into that groin, right groin. That was a request. Here we are. And this is also used for scoliosis. For scoliosis, we do it one way, one side, the other. So you can play with that. If you're doing this and your body says, oh, I want more of the other one, do more of the other one. Probably you need it. So in a group class, I'm offering both of these as options. And this is also lengthening one side of the back more than the other. So here I'm lengthening my left side more than my right. And then coming back to the center, find your center. And to make this a little bit easier, we're just going to step forward and come up very lazily, hands on the thighs. Inhale, halfway, exhale, stay. Bending the knees, inhale all the way up. And then we're going to do the other side. So you should feel pretty relaxed after this class. We're doing a lot of forward bends. All right, but it still works. So I'm bringing my left foot forward, but do whatever is your harder side now. And we're going to move the opposite arm as front leg. Inhale, that arm coming up. Finding your Uttanasana up. Tana, stretching. asana, finding your pose, your ability to be present. If this is a balance issue, you can widen your feet either direction, especially laterally. Inhale, coming halfway up. Exhale, release. About heel to heel alignment or wider. Inhale, coming up, move the arm in line with the ears if that's accessible, or don't use the arm at all. Exhale, release. That back hand can have the palm down or up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway. Exhale. Doing this 3 times. Inhale. Exhale. You could do it 4 to 6 times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, release, both hands down. Working more with the lower back, lengthening it. Inhale, arching up, bringing your rib cage forward, lengthen. Exhale, release. Keep this going your own timing. Maybe your back foot, you'll feel comfortable to make parallel at this point. A little bit more stability. Back foot can be at the wall for more stability at a baseboard. Maybe feeling the stretch in the front leg a lot. Parsha-uttanasana or Parshvottanasana. And then going to the outside of the leg, the little toe side of your foot, twisting that direction and feeling the stretch in the opposite hip and lower back. And maybe adding some movement. You can inhale, arch, and exhale, release. So see which works better for you. And then going to the other side, maybe turning that back foot out to match that turn towards the inside, the big toe side of the front foot. And then feeling the stretch in that inner groin. Inhale, arching. You can adjust the hands. So if you have one side of your upper back a little shorter than the other, you can bring that hand forward. So I'm doing that with my left hand forward because I have some shortness on that side. So you can adjust the hands to comfort. You'll know when you found it. Your body will tell you yes or no very clearly. So play with that. Inhale, arching. Exhale, releasing. And then coming back to the center after around 6 breaths. Stepping forward, feet parallel. Exhale. Inhale, hands sliding up to your thighs, bending the knees, arching the back. Exhale, stay, draw the belly in. Inhale, pressing up. And exhale, release, and finding your samastiti. And notice how your feet feel, your hips feel, your lower back, and you might find that side that you weren't waiting on very easily at the beginning of the class. Now you can feel it alive. So just notice if that's true for you. Or you might be feeling this in another part of your body. Maybe another part of your body has woken up. And just to tie this all together, I'm going to show wall forward bend. This is an option if you have a wall available to you. If not, if you have a chair available to you, I'm going to show another option. I know we all have walls, but often in small city spaces, we don't have walls free of paintings, etc. So if you have a wall accessible to you, bring your buttocks to the wall with your feet forward. We did this a few weeks ago. And this is one of my favorite ways to do Uttanasana. And I'm just going to take a look and see if you all have a wall. Looks like you all have a wall. Okay, I don't have to modify. Okay, all right. Oh, see, I'm going to just use a half forward bend. Okay, so at a chair. Okay, thank you. So buttocks at a wall. And I'll cue for the modification for those of you who are doing this with your hands on the seat of a chair, the back of a chair, or on a counter or a ledge. Which is also good if you can't do the full forward bend because of blood pressure or eye issues. Inhale, arms coming up in front or to the sides. Feel your back on the wall. Exhale. Start to hinge forward from the hips, but draw the belly in. So there will be a slight rounding in the back, and maybe bend your knees. Come all the way down if you can, bend the knees as needed. Inhale, come halfway up, hands beside your hips on the wall and pressing away. So my hands are flat on the wall, or if your arms are a little shorter, you might go on your fingertips and lengthen away, and you can even arch up a little bit. So that Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release, forward. We're going to keep going up and down just halfway. Another modification, so hands to the wall is the beginning, or hands on the legs, or if you can, opposite elbows. Inhale, halfway up. So this is getting into the thoracic spine and lower back for those of us with rounding in the upper back. This can be very helpful for that kyphosis, that rounding of the upper back. It's also very strengthening for the lower back. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, down. You can also do this seated in a chair. That's another modification. So the seated in a chair and just doing this with the upper body. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, down. If you want to take it further, try one arm at a time. Inhale. The other hand at the thigh. Exhale, sliding down. Inhale. This is extremely strengthening for the back. Take it further, both arms. Be careful. This is a lot of work. I'm bending the knees at the bottom to release my lower back a bit. Halfway up, I am straightening my legs. You might not. Pick your medicine. No arms. Hands at the wall, hands at the thighs, bent elbows, one arm at a time or both. Just finishing up. Next stage would be to stay in the halfway position. But for me, my lower back is too sore right now. So if you can do that step. I'm done. So pick your medicine and then bring your rib cage forward. Feel the bottom of it. Take it forward on your thighs and release. Again, you could do this seated in a chair very easily and release. And the hands could be anywhere that's comfortable. Coming out of this very slowly, hands at the wall. Bend the knees a bit, hands on the thighs. Exhale, stay. Inhale, come the rest of the way up. And just rest. So just rest your back on the wall. And if you've done those Superman poses on your belly before, these standing poses are very similar in their effect on the lower back, but you're not dealing with, especially with women, our anatomy in the front sometimes makes it quite uncomfortable lying on our bellies. So just remember you can do similar things standing. So we're going to actually lie down now. I'm sure you're excited about that. That's a lot of standing poses. So take a spot to lie down, and we're just going to release some of that. Last week we did a lot of rotated twists. This week we did a lot of lengthening of the spine and stretching and strengthening one side of the spine at a time, especially the lower back. And you might be feeling quite tired in your lower back right now from all that work. So we're just going to try to do a counter for that. So we're just going to start with the ubiquitous windshield wiper pose. Exhale, leg side. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side to rest the lower back. Now you might find this more comfortable with the feet together. So just notice if you'd rather do it with the feet together or apart. So just pick your medicine. Palms up or down. Which one feels better for your body? Your body will tell you pretty clearly. And if you feel like staying in the pose, you might stay for a few breaths, especially if you have tightness in one of the hip flexors. Adjust the legs to where you want them so they stay very open. You could bring your knees higher, like we worked on last week. You could extend one leg, hold a big toe, or both legs. Or just hold your thighs. So just find some version of this pose, Jatra Padavriti, that feels good for you. Just adding a little rotation of the spine now, focusing on the lower back. So the upper back is fairly neutral compared to the lower back. And when you feel ready after around 4 to 6 breaths, coming back to the center, switching other side. You want to get a little bit more aligned, more easily. Start in the center. Bring your hips the opposite way that you're twisting your knees to, and then bring your knees to one side. Again, it could just be a very open twist that I'm showing right now, or the knees could come up towards the armpit, bent, holding your hand on that top thigh. Whichever one feels best with your lower back right now. And play a little bit and just see which one feels best today. And finding your way back to the center. And moving into happy baby if this feels good, holding just the thighs, calves, ankles, or little toe side of the feet. If you've got some tightness in the hip flexors, you could try bringing your legs apart. This also works on stretching the groin. If you've got tightness there. Try to keep the lower back on the floor as you do this, whatever version you choose for holding the feet, the calves, or the thighs. Keep the neck long. You might have a pillow or cushion or blanket folded under the head. And if it's comfortable, you can bring your legs long, and you can hold behind the thighs if you like, the calves or the little toe or the big toes. And try to keep the lower back down here. You can have a little bend in the knees as you do this. Feel free. And you could do this with a belt as well. We stretched our legs a lot today standing. So you might have a lot more flexibility than you're used to right now. When you feel complete, just resting with your legs up, your hands up. Could put your legs up the wall to end the class today, or rest in Shavasana. Again, your feet could be up the baseboard to keep everything even, a pillow or a rolled mat or blanket under the thighs or the knees. Some of my students like to put a blanket, pillow, or soft block under the buttocks to create more space in the pelvis, so as hip flexors. Just taking a little rest here to integrate. Starting to increase the length of your breath. Inhale into your upper back, middle back, lower back. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Inhale, expand through your upper back, middle back, lower back into the floor. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Inhale, upper back, middle back, lower back. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Rest. Starting to move the hands, maybe the feet, curling to one side, maybe bringing one arm under the ear. Coming to a comfortable seated position. Feel free to sit on a chair, at the wall, the legs, anywhere that feels good for you, or you could stay lying down if that's a better closing pose for you. Just doing a little bit of breath work. I wanted to do some nadi shodhana. This means a breath exercise, pranayama that cleans the nadis, the 72,000 energy channels coming out of the belly button. Your hands you can do in Mrigi Mudra, which looks like this. For most people, this is very hard to do. Okay, so if you can't do it, don't worry about it. This is modification, word up, or you can just create little crow beaks, which is way easier. Okay, anyway, you can play with this. Your mudra, word up, or crow modification. I don't even know the Sanskrit for this one. For the mudra, baka mudra or something, I'm not sure. I'll have to get that from Radha Sridhar, my teacher of such things. Okay, when you're ready. So this is a very safe pranayama. Works both sides. We really work bilaterally today, one side of the spine at a time. We're going to work energetically, one side of the energetic system at a time. And we're just going to do a few rounds. I do like to work bilaterally with my hands, using one hand and then the other. Classically, it's just the right hand that is used in India. I'm starting with my right hand, and I'm not going to mirror this one. I'm exhaling through my left nostril. My right elbow is nice and high if you can do that. Inhale up your left nostril. Switching sides, exhale out your right nostril. Inhale up the right. Exhale out the left. I'm going to switch arms. I also do this because if you have neck shoulder issues, holding your arm like that for a long time is a little bit hard on the neck. Inhale up left nostril. My right is closed. Exhale, switching out right nostril. Inhale in through the right. Pressing on the right nostril, exhale out the left. We're going to do this more in the next week so you can practice. Other side, closing the right nostril, inhale, left. Pressing left nostril closed, exhale out right. Inhale through the right with the left closed. Exhale, close the right, out the left. Switch sides. Closing the right nostril, inhale left. Switch, exhale out right. Inhale right. Switch out left. Keep this going your own timing. You can pick a ratio that works for you. If this is too much, just do regular breathing through both nostrils. Inhale, exhale both. Just doing one more round of right and left hands. When you finish, just breathing in and out both nostrils, ujjayi, constricting the throat. Finishing up. Hands at the heart. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari